Hey guys, it's Ona, your energy customer service rep from Chicago. Today is Thursday, August 15th, 2024. Dr. Vicky and I are pre-recording this full moon energy because I have an appointment to work on Friday, and we are going to do our Mystic Sisters live on her channel Saturday night, and I wanted to purge some of this full moon stuff, sort of the anticipatory full moon before the weekend. So thank you, Dr. Vicky, for the very short notice. I said, you know what? I think I need to do some divination tonight. If you
Oh
want
no,
to
you
join
cut out.
me.
You cut out a little bit.
I did. Oh, sorry.
Now you cut out just now when you said something. Couldn't hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Then that should be good. I said, I need to pull some cards because it feels like there's so much energy. I need to know what to focus on. Do you want to join me? And she's like, hell yeah. Just like tell me what's happening. So thank you so much for jumping in on this. When things come in and I start writing it down, I'm like, I need to do this now because I need to focus on the other part of my brain tomorrow,
Yes.
the left side. Then I've rested and getting it ready for my other work.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see what you need
Your
to
ultra ego. Your ultra
know.
nurse ego.
Yes, that one. So the full moon in Aquarius is occurring on Monday, August 19th at 1:26 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's the middle, that's our central, adjust to where you are, it is in the middle of the day. So you'll see it in its relative fullness, right, on Sunday night.
Right.
And it is in Aquarius, and we know Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and they're making a square to each other. Most importantly, that is the first day of the DNC. I'm having some anxiety about that. I'm working a couple of days during this convention time, and it's kind of a heightened alert situation. One. Two, and I don't know how this happened, but I have a colonoscopy scheduled the very same day. So whatever your full moons are about, you guys, just think, okay? During this full moon,
You could be Ona.
how the hell did that happen? Like, how did that happen? How am I, oh my God. So I'm spending Sunday night like prepping and stuff like that, but that is how I'm going to be spending my full moon. So I want to do some a little ahead of time celebrating, or at least know what to focus on. So I thought, let's pull some cards. Let's look at this chart and pull up this chart because there are so many things that you can explore, rabbit hole, right?
You have to let me share.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That I really want to pull cards that just for what do I need to focus on? Just give me like the one thing, right? Because there are so many different things. This DNC thing is starting on Monday. This full moon is on top of the moon of the United States.
That's right. The Sibley
This
moon.
is like what? So you can see where I have this raised awareness, and I have a lot of blue signs and signals and tastes and color associations, synchronicities that are associated with this. So that's interesting. And I don't know if it's related to anything, but this is what the full moon feels like to me. What the number 7 represents, the choices, 7 deadly sins, whatever however you wanna sort of appreciate that. That is how this full moon is coming into focus for me.
Now, didn't you have an incident with laser lights in the sky?
Yes, on Tuesday after, and since we started talking about this full moon, I've had this area, like my teeth, like I wrote it down, this full moon knocks you in your teeth, because when I start thinking about it, it keeps happening. So I'm gonna give it time. I'll give it a day. I'll give it 2 days. When I start thinking about it and what it has to tell me, my teeth are affected. So that energy, whatever that is coming in, Saturn is related to the teeth.
Yeah.
Used to rule Aquarius, right?
Right.
That started
Right.
on Tuesday. I went up to the roof because I heard Green Day and the Smashing Pumpkins were going to be playing at Wrigley. And I'm like, oh, I want to go see. And I'm looking at Smashing Pumpkins were playing. I'm kind of looking around. I look up at the sky and there's this blue light that is kind of stationary, slow moving, enough for me to like, oh my God, what is that? That's weird. It was the night there were supposed to be meteor showers. Perseid, I think.
Yes, I
Like
think,
on
or
shots
maybe the
of
Leonids, maybe the Leonids. I don't know.
there was the aurora pictures from the night before. I'm like, well, maybe this is related. It's moving slow. And I try to, and as I'm trying to, it starts moving in a zigzag and I can't track it and it's gone. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna, that was weird. And I really saw it. And I said, thank you. I really saw it. Because I always ask for a real clear sign. And I walked back to where the pumpkins were playing. And I'm like, maybe it's the concert. Maybe it was a laser thing that shot out of Wrigley. And I look at, I'm like through the buildings and into the northeast. Like, that's such a weird thing. I don't know what that is, but
Maybe it was just our friends, the Pleiadians, like just waving hello to you.
well,
You
that's
ask for a
the next
sign, you
thing.
get a
I'm like,
sign.
come back. My camera's ready. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm like, damn it, you guys show up again. Come on. That was not fair. You left before I had a chance
It's to take a picture.
to
Yeah.
take a picture. So weird stuff, but I think that might not be so unusual as more Aquarian type things start to manifest themselves, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Look at this chart. Okay, it looks like a spider on crack.
Well, it's certainly active. There's a lot of thing besides the full moon, which in itself is a gigantic thing. Now, of course, if we go back to last month's full
Right?
moon, at the last degree of Capricorn with the sun in the last degree of Cancer, so intense. The weekend that Joe Biden had made the decision to step down, there was such a, and it was also right after the assassination attempt on Trump.
Yeah.
There was such uh, a sense of something big, some impending something. And it happened. And of course, we had the giant wave, and we're still sort of riding that wave. And now we come to the DNC with this full moon. This, this full moon, the full moon in Aquarius, on the United States Sibley moon in Aquarius.
Mhm.
Um, and also, it's on Kamala Harris's Saturn. She has Saturn at 28 degrees of Aquarius. This day is also the day of her Venus return in her chart. So it's a really big day for Kamala and a really big day for America. This energy is almost like it feels like that siren that's going off before there's a big something, or like
Yeah.
maybe before the tornado comes and those alarms go off and you're like, oh, there's going to be a tornado. That's kind of the energy, but I think this tornado begins now and probably doesn't quite end until February, March,
Yeah, when
not a
Pluto moves.
consistent. Yeah, well, Pluto is, Pluto's moving back into Capricorn, right? And we also, this year, it, the confluence of events, and then also, there's actually a number of exact aspects happening the day of this full moon, and before the full moon and after the full moon. And the one that's probably the most significant to like in in our long-term experience is the square between Saturn and Jupiter,
Yeah,
because Saturn and Jupiter deal with uh, the how society grows and expands and builds, and then there's an energy of a crisis in action to create a foundation for the seeds that were planted when those two planets came together. And those two planets came together on winter solstice in 2020. Remember
okay,
2020? Um, and at 1 degree of Aquarius, where Pluto is right now.
okay. What about how long are they gonna be in square? Is it till November? It's till November, right? And
No, I
Saturn
don't,
just has
no,
one month.
I'm not sure, but this is the first of three. This is the first of three. There are three. There's one now, there's one closer to the election, and then there's one in, I want to say February, but I could be wrong about that. So this is these squares move us forward. These squares create a crisis that we have to respond to through action. And then in an attempt to escape the ghosts of the past and move into the future. So that kind of sounds exactly right to me when we're looking at, what's been going on with the change and the shift that we experienced after that last full moon.
I know, but remember that last full moon was Capricorn 2.0. That was like the second hit of a Capricorn full moon.
And we have another hit of that, and it's not the full moon, but right before the election, I think it is. I think it's just days before the election or a week before the election. Pluto opposes Mars. Pluto is at 30 degrees of Capricorn, and Mars is at 30 degrees of Cancer.
Yeah.
And so we get that that degree again activated. Only now it's Pluto and Mars. It's not the sun and the moon. So I mean, I know we don't have to tell people how intense it is because we can all feel it. And really, I think the most important thing to do at this time is just to attend to your own, your own sense of peace of mind.
Yeah, like sovereignty, your sovereignty. And
Yeah,
what, you just think of the word, what makes you feel comfortable?
or at least aligned within yourself, right?
Yeah,
Because we're dealing with the two, Leo, and Aquarius is the axis of love, and Leo is personal. Aquarius is more impersonal, sort of humanitarian love, and that's what with a full moon at these degrees we need to look for,
yeah,
right? And then you have Uranus activating it as a square, so making a T square. The sun and the moon are the most personal planets, and Uranus is an awakener, and so we're all going to sort of be personally woken up. And for those of us who are already awake, we know it's coming, but there are a lot of people out there that are unaware that
and
they're.
that was, yeah, you're right, and this is what we're recognizing as other people's pain is they're actually kind of becoming awake, and it's a painful experience.
Don't we know it?
Right? We know it. We know we're like, huh? What? you know how painful it is and how long it takes you to be comfortable in the new awareness. And we're witnessing people sort of just starting to kind of get it or
Right.
become, and this is what I thought the focus would be on for this full moon is what can I do to sort of, I think I wrote it down, like, what is my role
Right.
in witnessing this
Right.
awakeness? What is the awakening that needs focus right now? So it could just be sort of one thing. Like there's a lot of shadow stuff, a lot of generational stuff, past life things. There's this chart's full of it. Look.
I almost feel like last full moon was a little bit more about the past, and this full moon is more about the future possibilities. And having to say goodbye to Joe, even though we didn't, he's still here, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah,
But having to say goodbye in the way that we had to say goodbye to him was like, saying goodbye to the past. And Kamala really represents the future and the rising feminine and the color of the world. The world is getting more blended, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I think that there's a lot of things that this symbolizes. And of course, the United States is going through a Pluto return, going through a Chiron return. Um, and it's in the United States on the 4th. We moved into a 19-1 vibration, which is the sun, which is illumination. But the 19-1 energetically is a karmic number where you have to pay for your past karmic,
yeah,
boo-boos. And we have plenty, we all have plenty. I mean, America is not unique. It's unique in some ways, but it's not unique in its shadow, I don't think. And that's something else. We're facing our shadow. We're facing our shadow in this country.
yes,
And the idea of freedom and who's truly free. And you have one side that wants to, you know, chip in, go together, get together, unite, and create the world that we know that we believe in. Then you have the other one who wants to shut it all down. So I'll tell you, the shut it all down is not going to win.
no.
They might have temporary, where they go, hey, we run, but that's not going to last because it's not the direction. People are waking up. They're not going to want to go back to sleep.
And I
Which,
think that's part
when
of the
they say
whole,
we're not going back, we're not going back.
yeah,
There's a lot of good things that people are saying at this time, right?
yeah. And
So
that's part of the shadow or the wound is a fear that things are going to change, fear that what abortion is legal again. There's just I fear that their things are going to be taken,
but what
that it's
what
unsafe.
what do they have that anybody wants to take?
Whatever
Maybe
you
maybe
were
their
telling
maybe
us
their
to come.
dominion, maybe the fact that you have to accept them what they say without questioning. That's done. That's over.
Right.
I mean, that's done.
Yeah. I
Just
know. I agree. I agree. The Gen Zers are not accepting that you hoard, you don't offer, and you're not generous, and resources should be available to everyone, and most of them should be free, and like that's that is the direction that is fair, and the only way that really is going to make it thrive, you know?
and I think a lot of that realization also came through the idea of Uranus moving through Taurus. Taurus doesn't like to let go of anything, and Uranus has been shaking it right out of their hands, our hands, anybody's hands, where we thought the roots were deep and foundational, everything is getting shook.
Yeah.
And so, but it has to shake us out of our dream state. the dream that we don't have power, the dream that you know, the dream that says somebody outside of us has the right to tell us what we think, who we should love, who we shouldn't love. Instead of trusting our own feelings on things, they're saying, no, you have to do what I say. And that's the old age. And this
Yep.
full moon brings that whole sort of, you know, I mean, it's overstated and overused perhaps, but that new age, that new awareness, because Aquarius is about equality and equanimity.
Mhm.
And Pluto's in Aquarius now, and Pluto evolves through its polarity point. So it's about being your authentic self, polarity point in Leo, sharing your greatest talent, sharing your light to improve and help the humanity evolve, because humanity is Aquarius and evolution is Pluto. And
Yeah.
so we all have to be, you know, there were when things were the other way, when we had people in charge of making decisions for us, we could just sort of, you know, do our own thing and not worry about it. But those days are gone. We have to become responsible. One of the shadow in the US in the system I use is a 5. It's a 32-5. And so that's about, like, if you want to be free, you have to be responsible for yourself. You can't blame
Mhm.
other people for your problems. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You have to be self-responsible. Once you realize that your life is your responsibility and not somebody else's, then you're free to live your life. And I think that's what we would all like to do. We're tired of, um, I guess we could say working for the man, but you know, if you like what you're doing, that's different. I mean, like, it's not really working for the man, you're working for yourself. And there are people who structure things so that you have a place to work. I
Yeah.
mean, that's all good stuff, but I don't know. It's a, and I think one of the other things that we can even see in this with Uranus in Taurus squaring the nodes is climate change.
Yeah. There isn't anything that is predictable anymore. I haven't, I turned my heat off in February. It hasn't gone back on. I know that I can't tolerate heat as much as I used to, but come on. And yeah, like, just things are so different
Can
that,
I go ahead? Go
you
ahead.
know, there's no way you can see, like, the Farmer's Almanac. It's useless. I don't even use it anymore.
I want to just point out the Sabian symbols for this full moon. Check this out. The sun at 28 degrees of Leo,
Mhm.
many little birds on the limb of a large tree, to focus upon opportunity. I love that, right?
Mhm.
Provided we function within the scope of our ability to concentrate the attention, our opportunities are numberless. Focusing upon optimal opportunity in opposition to the moon at 28 of Aquarius, a tree felled and sawed to ensure a supply of wood for the winter, careful use of natural resources. To ensure a supply of wood for the winter, we have to anticipate and make preparations ahead of time.
That
It,
is actually the questions that I wrote to pull cards were pretty much focusing on what it is that I need to focus on, or we need to focus on. What is the awakening that needs to be focused on right now? What is my role? What needs to be released, the challenges and the results, so that there's something to be, because there's 4 elements. There are so many things in that chart to focus on. I'm like, okay, what is the single thing? Because the week is nuts. It's just, it's
so
very intense. And you
I
can,
have, I promised Michael that I would stop buying cards because I have so many. I said, I'm going to take a break. I'm not going to buy cards for a little while. And then I saw the Astro Matrix cards. I was like, wow.
Oh,
And
what?
you know how when you buy stuff on Amazon and then another thing comes up and says, oh, you might be interested in this. And I saw these Tree of Life Oracle cards and I was like, wow.
Yes, and you get to review them and see reviews. And then there is also YouTube channels that have the new 2024 tarot decks, new 2024 Oracle decks. And she does it like every, I don't know, few months. There's a lot that come out.
There's
So
just so many now. There's just so many. And
yeah,
half the time I buy it for the art more than
I
anything
do.
else.
That is, I need to see something different. I'm working on different things. So I think it's Heaven and Earth
Ooh,
that I ordered, and it's because of the art. Everything is, all of it is. So what I did do was pull the Aquarian deck for this full moon because it's Aquarius and because it's got that Art Nouveau style that I really like. And the first question would be, what is the awakening that needs focus right now? What is it? And
so you
even if it's something as simple as just one card, and
one card. Okay.
if it's like an element, so, and start relating it to how you're going to make an impact, right? So what is the awakening that needs focus right now? Because there's so many. Oh, it's a big secret. I got that. Ooh, two of them came up. High Priestess,
Okay.
okay. And behind the High Priestess is the Hermit.
Ooh, wow. Both of those cards are pretty secretive.
Right, right. So whatever, maybe, is that a shadow, a thing, a shadow event? Money. You pull money, you pulled money.
I pulled the earth. Could be money, resources, but it felt like earth to me.
Okay. Yeah,
Focus on earth. Focus on, and that's part of like the Sabian symbol, right? Prepare, prepare. I feel like we have to prepare for
earth events.
unexpected, maybe earth event.
Definitely feeling that. Definitely knowing with this square into Uranus that's in Taurus that there are earth events that we haven't seen in a long, long time. Um, so that might be something to focus on. Are you ready for some kind of earth event, a flood, fire, even if something as simple like the fire extinguisher in your kitchen,
Right, right.
right?
I also think the Ace of Pentacles speaks to our bodies. So extra care, like what is your body telling you right now through this energy? The other day I had one of those, another tired. I got really tired. I had to lay down. I mean, I had a headache and everything, which I don't usually get headaches. So it was unusual. And then I found out that there was a giant geomagnetic storm, and so I didn't know that's what it was,
Yeah.
but you have to just uh, promptings of your own physical body, because we're
Yeah,
part of our physicalness is part of the earth,
yeah.
and
And
with the earth
geomagnetic
changes,
storm,
our
it's
body
a,
changes.
yeah. People feel it in different ways. I haven't pinpointed exactly how it affects me. This might be the whole thing with the tooth thing, but a geomagnetic storm is like the sun regurgitating gas,
Mhm.
right? Gas in mass.
Right,
Mass causes waves.
right.
It affects you. Affects you, right? What is my role in this full moon energy, or in this? Hopefully it's like wisdom, like secrets, wisdom. I don't know. What is my role? Please. This is the Four of Wands, so it's a home card. Focus on the home? What did
I
you,
got the king of, it's hard to see, but because of the lighting, I
King of
apologize.
Cups?
King of Cups. It's actually Prince in his purple rain outfit,
Interesting.
right? Interesting. Um, the King of Cups has a hold of his feelings, but he doesn't allow his feelings to rule him. He has dominion over his feelings. He doesn't lose his head. He doesn't lose his emotion. He doesn't go, he's able to be sensitive yet rule. And I think that's what this card is connoting for me.
Is there, okay, but the next one flew out before I even said the question out loud, so I'm gonna there. But what needs to be released? What needs to be released so that it can clear the path to better focus, like taking a Tylenol because you have a headache. Typically, you don't do that, but you're like, you know. So what needs to be released? I have justice here.
I got the
The
King of
justice card.
Pentacles. Pentacles again. Hmm. Justice for the King of Pentacles. Maybe we need to release our need to see justice for the King of Pentacles in order for the justice to come to the King of Pentacles.
I can see that as this being a Libra card, that there can be a revengeful quality to that. So sort of a
Yeah, it kind of serves him right.
don't
Okay.
get too cocky.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Aquarius being an air sign, and that's what we use to communicate is air. So that makes sense. That's good. All right. And who can we call on for assistance from? Like, say, okay, this is too much. I need you to sweep in. Give me a sign, kind of thing. So who can we call on for assistance? I don't use this deck that much. I don't know if I immediately my head says animals, like the thing that will make you, and one fell on the floor. Well, all these are major arcanas. This fell on the floor. It's the star card. So that kind of explains itself. The star. So
The star is always associated with meditation too. So call on our own higher selves, perhaps.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
What star is available? I love this card though. I'd make a pillow out of this. It's really pretty. It's a peacock and it's all that Art Nouveau style.
Mm.
So the star is who can we call onto to kind of like straighten things out. In other words, they're available in the stars.
Oh, that's probably who you saw. That was probably just a thing for you to know that they're on the way or they're here to help. Maybe it's the Pleiadians. In fact, I think that Uranus might be on the Pleiades. Pleiades are in like the 29th degree of
Well, maybe I had the wrong outfit on or something, but they come back.
wear blue,
Right.
whatever you do, wear blue. Wear blue. I'm gonna you mentioned
man.
animals. So I pulled out a different deck. I have
Okay.
a
So
J
assistance from the stars, and then the last one would be results.
I got the Queen of Cups, which is the whale here,
Yes.
the orca.
I had that deck on board. I don't know if I grabbed it or not, but I'm like, no, I didn't. I did a different deck, but I'm like, you know what, that deck, and it's so complicated, but I wanted lighter cards because I knew it would be dark in here.
So diving deep. The whales are the record keepers. They're the record keepers.
Isn't there a star?
Orcus. There's the whale, there's the constellation of the whale, and then there's also an asteroid,
So
no, a trans-Neptunian planet, Orcus, I think.
there's it's not Sedna, but it starts with an S and it has sal, like salination, like salt in the name that I heard that came up also around this. So the owner of the saltwater, the oceans.
The blood of the mother. The oceans are the blood.
Interesting. Water things, water stuff, that kind of thing. So the last card would be results. I could do an oracle card, or I'll keep with the Aquarian to start my altar thing going
I'll pull
all day.
a tree of life card. What was the question again?
The results. Just, kind of package it up and see what is the result if I follow this requesting from the stars that I need some help with this, straighten this out, focus on your home, grounding yourself, all those things. The result is I got Knight of Pentacles.
Oh, I like that.
So we went from Ace to Knight.
Yeah. A lot of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. So it's a lot. I think maybe we're being asked to be real conscious about our physical bodies through this very intense period of time.
Yeah. And remember, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, but it used to be ruled by Saturn.
Right.
So if Saturnic things are showing up, yeah. And isn't it like square and Saturn's involved in this whole big web thing too, right?
Right. It's Saturn is opposing Venus. Saturn is squaring Jupiter. Saturn is opposing Kamala's Venus, and on her Venus return, Saturn is opposite her Venus. Saturn is about responsibility.
Yeah.
And this full moon is on her Saturn, which is about, being authority, taking hold of her authority.
It's very interesting.
I got the soul triangle, and it says mystical soul-led harmony. Mystical soul-led harmony. And well, this is very interesting because the soul triad on the tree of life is made up of the Sephiroth of Mars, which is in Gemini, the Sephiroth of Jupiter, which is in Gemini, and conjunct, and then the sun in Leo, right? So those are the three. So the sun is the heart, and Leo is the heart. Mars it takes action on your thoughts, expansion of your thoughts, expansion of your actions, but it's really about communicating with each other.
Yeah.
It's asking us to communicate so we can come to harmony. Instead of talking at each other, we need to talk to each other. Instead of closing our ears because somebody's wearing the wrong shirt.
That lady was wearing the wrong shirt.
I know she was. But it's like, let's try to instead of focusing on what makes us different, why don't we just focus on what brings us together? And I really think that the thing that I find amazing is I was listening today, and there's like evangelicals, Christians for Kamala, Republicans for Kamala, white women for Kamala, black women for Kamala, black guys for Kamala. She's such a like people are just all getting behind, and it's not. I don't even think it's her. I think it's her energy. Yeah,
Yeah,
her name Kamala means lotus, and
yeah,
the lotus flower is a symbol of enlightenment, but from the depths. Like the flower is beautiful and sits on top of the water, but the roots are in the mud.
yeah,
And that experience, the breaking down of things that nurture the illumination.
yeah.
And her middle name is Devi, which is a god.
Oh,
So
and Debbie, yes. I thought you said Debbie. I'm like,
no, Devi. I might be saying it wrong, but no. Yeah,
no, well, at least with, especially with that card, the Tree of Life card. So the energies that are leading up to this full moon on Monday all point to this past week, kind of leading up to, and just sort of kind of grounding yourself and knowing that you got the power to change everything, everything, every situation, every time you meet up with somebody, every conversation, every text, you have the power to change everything. So you choose, is it going to be, I have something to contribute to this, I can champion this, or am I just going to sink into beeping my horn in the middle of traffic like this asshole? Okay, who's going nowhere? He's going nowhere. He's just beeping his horn, making everybody mad.
hmm. I guess the question is, are you bringing are you bringing more light, or um, are you hiding in the darkness?
Yeah. And ask for that, you know, say, I need to bring light to this situation, even if you have to like go for cover in a bathroom and say, I need to bring light to this situation. So apparently you're available right now. Help me out with this because I pulled the right card for that, right? As you're available. So, help me breathe. It's air. Aquarius is air. Leo is fire. So it could be fiery. They potentiate each other. They need each other and they potentiate each other.
And we're dealing with the fixed signs, the full moon, the sun, and then Uranus as a square is all happening in fixed signs. And fixed signs are deep soul feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're being released. They're being and the missing piece of that T square is Scorpio, which is about letting go. It's about death and rebirth.
Yeah.
It's about letting go of that which no longer serves your life.
All right. There'll be more to come. Please join us for Mystic Sisters on Saturday evening on Dr. Vicky's channel, where I'm sure we're going to explore more full moon themes and
Yeah,
start
I'm sure there will be things that happen between now and then that'll
between now and then. And as far as the DNC, I'm going to document as much as I can. That is within my contract talk about. So it's so interesting. The city's getting ready. There's stuff going on. There's
It's got to be so intense for you guys.
so intense.
So
It's
intense.
so
You're
intense.
in the belly of the beast, my dear.
Yeah. And 38 years ago, I believe there was a conjunction of Uranus or of Jupiter and Mars in Gemini, right? So reflecting around that time and thinking about growth patterns and stuff like that. This is a new time. This is very intense. We have Joe coming, we have Kamala coming, we have
Barack.
Colbert, Daily Show. I think Jimmy Kimmel's got spots. I don't know. They're like everywhere. These people are everywhere. There are production companies everywhere.
Well, and Barack
Bragging
and Michelle
anymore.
are going to be there, right?
Barack, Michelle, why don't they just come over?
And the Clintons, everybody's.
Why not? Right? So it's very intense, and I am not driving in any of it. So thank God, I am so lucky that I am not commuting
Oh,
through
yeah,
mess, because it's intense.
I know.
So thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. And we'll see you on Saturday for more.
More fun
Yes.
with the Wicked Mystic Sisters.
So sorry I said wicked.
It
Oh my God. I see a Pete's Wicked Ale banner sign. Oh my God. I said Wicked Sisters. That was awful.
was wonderful.
Mystic Sisters on Saturday.
The Wicked Pissa Mystic Sisters, as we say
Maybe
here.
around Halloween. I'm already thinking about Halloween costume. I want to be a cicada. Or maybe I'll make giblets a cicada.
Oh, no. A giant bug. I don't think he'll like that, but okay.
He would totally love that. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Love you, love
Take
you.
care, everyone. Namaste.